Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. If you don't know, my name is Sephora. I'm an attorney and a life coach, and I help ambitious women set up their dream lives and reach them much quicker. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Sephora Gray Esquire, ESQ for short. And today's video, we're going to be talking all about how the corporate baddies can make more time for themselves. If you guys don't know, I still do work full-time as an attorney. I also run my business and everything else. And so I'm going to be giving you all the tips and tricks to managing your corporate life, your corporate baddie job, maintaining your appearance, and still giving time to yourself to run and do your own endeavors, whether that be running a business, whether that be creating your own empire, whatever it may be. All the tips are going to be in this video, so let's go ahead and jump in. So the very first thing that I recommend, that I always tell and always talk to my clients about, is what do your boundaries look like, right? And there's two types of boundaries. You have boundaries with the people you work with, you have boundaries with your job, with your superiors, with your people who are on the same level as you, your peers, but you also have boundaries with yourself. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is the boundaries with other people. Now, I admit, and trust me, I know, being an attorney myself, setting boundaries can be difficult, especially when you are in a work environment that values fast-paced work, that values very long hours, that values, you know, working till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Maybe you've got a corporate client or a litigation client, or if you're in finance or whatever it may be. And so it's kind of hard to set boundaries in those environments, right? What I suggest here is when you are first starting, or when you are starting in a new group, you need to be firm with what you are expected to do and what you are not expected to do, and what you are and are not going to do. And what I mean by that is you're not going to say, I'm not working from 9 to 5, right? Like, it's, if you're in the corporate field or you're in a business professional, then you're going to be expected to be available during that 9 to 5. But maybe your boundaries are going to look more so like you're starting with a new group and you tell them straight up front, hey guys, I go to church on Sunday mornings, so I'm going to be unavailable from 10 a.m. or I'm going to be unavailable until 12 p.m. when church ends, right? That's a boundary. That's a way for you to set a boundary and give time back to yourself for something that you value, something that makes you more whole, right? You're saying Sunday mornings until 12 p.m., I'm unavailable, I'm going to church. That's a non-negotiable, right? So that's what I'm talking about, right? Setting boundaries around those times. So like, for instance, for me, if when someone emails me at 1 a.m., I'm not responding. I'm not responding at 1 a.m. because I'm not working at 1 a.m. right? And so now, of course, there are exceptions. I'm never saying like this is the end all be all, especially if you are in that corporate fast-paced environment. Of course, there may be exceptions where you're like, there's a filing that's due, there's a client, there's a merger, there's something going on where maybe you are expected to work outside of what you would normally be doing, or outside of your boundaries, right? That's the exception, not the norm. And so really making sure that with these new groups, with these employers, you are very clear with who you are working with what your boundaries are. I gave church as an example. If you go to church on Saturdays, maybe that is where you would place your boundary. Maybe say, hey, like, I'm an early riser. I'm up at 5 a.m. and I prefer to get my work done in the morning. So I will be up at 5 a.m. and working, but I have kids, or I have dinner with my family at 7 p.m. every night, and so I will not be available from 7 to 8:30 while I'm having dinner, right? It's the little thing, it's the little boundaries. It's never like saying I'm unavailable from 5 to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or actually let's just say like from 3 to 8 or 9 p.m. right? That's not what it is. It's the little things that matter. It's the little things that make a difference, and making sure that you set those boundaries early on, because it's always harder once your team or your group has become accustomed to something for you to then try and set those boundaries further down the line, right? Especially if you had already been working during those hours, and then now you're all of a sudden like, nope, sorry, I decided I'm going to go to church. While there's nothing wrong with that, it's going to be harder to set boundaries that way. So that's the setting boundaries at work and in your working professional life. Setting boundaries with yourself looks more like, Sephora, you said that you were going to give yourself a break today. You don't have any work to do, so don't do work. That is a boundary you can set with yourself. Other boundaries you can set with yourself involve like, hey, my working profession, my peers invited me to go out to to go get drinks after work, but I really just want to go home and sleep, but I really just want to like use this time to work on myself or work on my business or work on another venture that I have. These are boundaries with yourself that you're not allowing other people to infringe upon, right? You're staying true to what you said you were going to do. You're staying true to your values. And so speaking of values, you can have boundaries surrounding your values, right? So for example, if you said you will never do something because it goes against your heart and your soul, then don't do it. That's a boundary you have with yourself, and that's what you want to stick to. So setting boundaries is one of the #1 ways that you can create more time for yourself to level up in your personal life and in your endeavors outside of your working professional life or your career. So tip #2, get mentors. I cannot express how important this is in a corporate professional working, any environment, really any working environment, because the mentors are the way that you are going to propel in your career. Mentors will get you into doors that you would otherwise never like have your foot in. And actually, I'm going to tell you a story to describe exactly what I'm talking about. So when I was in law school and I was interviewing for big law firms, I was a 1L, I think. And I was interviewing for big law firms, and I was talking with this partner at a very notorious big law firm, and I really hit it off with this partner. I connected with her multiple times after the interview. I still view her as a mentor today. And what she told me during the interview was, I mean, life-changing. It was phenomenal, and I carry it with me to this day, and which is why, like, you'll know on the channel, I'm a big advocate of coaches and mentors. And this is one of the very reasons, especially in the corporate professional environment, with mentors. So what she said was, when she was a junior partner, so when she was a young partner, she had just got promoted to partner. It was either like her first or second year partner, and she's sitting in the partner meeting where they're deciding or voting on, or I guess throwing out candidates for the next slate of partners for the firm. She's in this meeting, right? And of course, like, all the partners are in there sitting around a table, whatever, they're talking. And she notices, she says, someone sitting at the partner table takes out a small little folded piece of paper and just slides it over to someone. I think she said the managing partner of the firm, I'm not really sure, but just slides it over, right? He opens up the piece of paper and then opens up the piece of paper, looks at it, and then closes it back, right? So then the meeting goes on as normal. When the meeting was over, that person who like folded up that piece of paper just tossed it in the trash, like just on the way out the door after the meeting was over, right? She, of course, being curious, before she leaves, she picks up the piece of paper out the trash. Now, remember what this meeting was about. They're talking about the associates who should be in the next slate of partners, who should become partner, right? She picks up that piece of paper out the trash, and what is it? It's the name of an associate who later becomes partner. And she realizes to herself, she's like, this person didn't become partner because they were like phenomenal, or they had the most billable hours, or they were the top-notch worker. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure their work was great. The primary reason, I will say, that they got to be partner in that firm, in this specific firm that she was talking to me about, was because someone slid their name across the table to the managing partner, and then they got promoted to partner. That is the value of mentors. When you have someone to go to bat for you when you are not there. When you have someone sliding your name across the desk to nominate you for partner. When you have someone who is speaking your names in rooms that you are not in. That is the type of mentor you want in the corporate environment. And so she went on to talk to me all about like how you can go on and get mentors in the corporate space. And so that's a different conversation, but that is tip number 2 that I have for you, because especially if it is one of your goals to rise up in your corporate career, to rise up in your professional career, and you are trying to get to the top, like even if it's not a firm, COO, CEO, like whatever, finance, whatever your job or career, engineering, whatever it is, right? Whatever you are trying to do, that is absolutely something that is non-negotiable, is getting those mentors who can teach you the ropes and who can go to bat for you when you are not there. Those mentors will be speaking your names like, oh, I know a perfect person for this. Oh, this is this is a high level client, I know the perfect person to work on this. Oh, this is this, I know the perfect person, right? You're getting your name into doors that you're not even in. Tip number 3 to level up your life if you are a corporate baddie and give more time to yourself is to go out and hire out, okay? I've talked about this before, but I do lots of hiring out. Anything that you don't have time to do or you simply don't have to do, just hire somebody else to do it. So examples is a cleaning service. I have someone come and clean my home bi-weekly. I don't have to clean. It saves me time. It's just amazing, right? That's time I'm giving back to myself. Number 2, meal prep delivery service or grocery delivery service. So getting your groceries delivered, you can just literally, they'll deliver it right to your door. You don't have to spend the time to go out and shop. Again, that's giving more time for yourself so you can spend that time doing something else. Meal prep delivery service is kind of the same as grocery delivery, but it actually has all your meals like prepared for you. There's 2 options. You can get them prepared and then you just throw it in the oven to heat it up, or you can get the specific groceries and just cook it following the directions, which usually takes about 30 minutes to an hour. Either or, but both are very time saving. The other thing that I really like is either a personal trainer, which is what I use, and actually sometimes I'll do Pilates classes, but any type of group fitness class or something where it's like, okay, you're in and you're out, you're not going through the trouble of trying to figure these things out on your own. You don't have to like struggle, somebody else is doing all of that for you. And again, that's just another time saver and beneficial thing to give more time to yourself so that you can work on yourself and what you want to do. So like go get a massage, go get a wax, go get laser, go do literally anything else while you're having other people do these things for you. You can hire an organizer if your apartment is a mess. There's so many things that you can do, so many tasks that you can take off your plate and just give to someone else so that you can give more time back to yourself. The next tip that I have for you guys is to batch schedule. And so what I mean by this is if you got some endeavors outside of work that you are trying to accomplish, that you are trying to do, batch schedule those together and get them all done. So people ask me, one of the questions I get a lot is like, how are you doing, you know, full-time job and your business and social media? And one of the answers is like, along with I have a coach and I hire out and I have help, is I batch schedule. So for example, I'll film all of my TikTok videos. Like I'll pick one day out of the month to film all of my TikTok videos, one day out of the month to film all of my YouTube videos, and so on and so forth, right? And then I have people to help me with like editing and posting and all of that. But that saves a lot of time. So when it comes to batch scheduling, like pick one day out of the like bi-weekly or every month to go do all of your beauty maintenance. Like pick one day to do all of that. Pick one day to like go do all of your shopping. You know, like batch schedule your tasks together. If you're trying to build a business, pick one day out of the week to work on a specific aspect of your business, right? So you're just getting yourself in the mindset to where if you have to get something done, I'm just gonna sit down and use this day, use these hours and knock it all out. Then I don't have to think about it again until it needs to be redone, right? And so that way you're not like trying to like, oh, I have to use 30 minutes this day to do this, an hour this day to do this. Like you're not trying to like constantly switch your mind from work to business to health appointments to beauty maintenance appointments. You're not having to try and do all those things in one day because you've batch scheduled those out into multiple different days. So those are the tips that I have for you if you are a corporate baddie like myself and you are trying to level up and give more time back to yourself. If you guys like this video, then make sure you give me a like and hit subscribe. Comment down below with what other videos you guys want to see, and I can't wait to see you guys on my next one. Bye.